Hello everyone, my today's topic is the blood. Blood is the connective tissue which is responsible for mm, the transportation of the nutrients and the oxygen throughout the body. The blood is also responsible for the collection of the waste material from the cells and removal of it. Let's talk about the hematopoiesis, that is the production of the blood. Blood is products produced by the hematopoietic stem cells, which are produced into the third week of the embryonic development into the yolk sac. There is after that the 4 month life of the fetal development. There are the two types of the dominant migration and the minor migration of the blood is happen. After that the blood is uh, after that the blood is formed into the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow is the active and the yellow bone marrow is the inactive, and there is the destruction of the blood is happening into the liver and the spleen. After that 4 month of the fetal development, the blood cells and the blood plasma are produced into the red bone marrow, and destruction is happening into the liver and the spleen. Let's talk about the composition of the blood. The composition of the blood contain the plasma and the three types of the cells, that is the red blood cell, white blood cell, and the platelets. The plasma contains the 92% of the water, which is the fluid, and the 8% of the proteins, which may be the albumin, globulin, immunoglobulin, clotting factor. The After the centrifugation, we can separate the plasma and the blood cells. The blood cells, let's talk about the red blood cells. Red blood cells contain the hemoglobin protein, which is responsible for the red color of the blood. Hemoglobin is responsible for the hemoglobin carries the oxygen throughout the body. Hemoglobin contain the heme, and there is the alpha and the beta chain. The hemoglobin is important for oxygen carrying. Red blood cells lifespan is the 120 days. The When there is a decrease in the number of the RBCs is called as the anemia, and the increase in the number of the RBCs is called as the polycythemia. The RBCs, the content of the RBCs into the adult female is the 3.5 million to the 4.5 million per cubic mm, and the into the adult male there is the 4.5 to the 6.5 million of the blood is present. Another the hemoglobin content into the adult male is the 12 to 15 gram per deciliter, and into the adult male there is the 14 to 16 gram per deciliter presence of the hemoglobin. Then let's talk about the white blood cells. White blood cells are active against the infection, and they are of two types, that is the granulocytes and the agranulocytes. Granulocytes contain the granules in their cytoplasm. There is the presence of the neutrophil, basophil, and the eosinophil. Neutrophil is responsible for the which is the first responder and responsible for the phagocytosis of the foreign material. They contain the trilome of the nucleus and the granules into the cytoplasm. There is the presence of the basophils. Basophils are the responsible for the release of the histamine and the dilation of the blood vessels, and they also have the bilome of the nucleus. There is a third is the eosinophils. Eosinophils contain the bilome of the nucleus, as they are active against the allergic reactions and the parasitic infection. It may be the malaria condition or the helminthes infection. When there is the increase in the number of the WBC called as the leukemia, and the increase is called as the leukocytopenia. Decrease in the WBC is called as the leukocytopenia. The lifespan is 3 to 5 days, and they have the ability to cross the blood vessels and the another cells for the infection. When there is the infection, there is also presence of the granulocytes, that is the lymphocytes and the monocytes. Lymphocytes are of the two types, that is the T lymphocytes and the B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce antibodies against the pathogenic infection, and there is the T lymphocytes, which is responsible for the which get participated itself and participated itself into the infection. And the monocytes are responsible for the phagocytosis of the pathogens. uh, There are the two types of the humoral and the cell-mediated immunity is formed by these lymphocytes B and the T lymphocytes. Then let's talk about the presence of the platelets, also called as the thrombocytes. Thrombocytes are helpful into the clotting. There are also clotting factors are present in the plasma, and when there is a cut or the wounds are formed, the blood loss can be stopped by clotting. When there is the increase in the number of the thrombocytes called as the thrombocytosis, and the case is called as the thrombocytopenia. All It's all about the composition of the blood. The lifespan of the platelets is the 3 to 5 days, and they are present into the less number than the RBCs, which are 15 to 35,000 platelets are present into the human body. And let's talk about the what are the disorders related to the blood. There are the many disorders. When there is a decrease in the number of the RBC called anemia is formed. There are the different type of the anemia, that is the iron deficiency anemia, vitamin deficiency anemia. Iron deficiency anemia contain the less iron from the diet of the person. Then iron is responsible for the production of the hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is responsible for the carrying of the oxygen to the cells. Anemia is the condition where is the oxygen is less. Then there is a different type, that is a sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia, the shape of the RBC is a sickle, and which lifespan is also small, so it gets destructed easily in a small lifespan. So after that there is the aplastic anemia is also present. Aplastic anemia, then vitamin deficiency anemia. In vitamin deficiency anemia, there is the in vitamin deficiency anemia there is the folate and the vitamin B12 is deficient into the human diet, and which is important for the hemoglobin production. These are the some types of the anemia. There is another infection related to the WBC, that is the leukemia. Leukemia is the cancer where the increase in the number of the WBCs. And there is the hemophilia, which is the bleeding disorder formed which is the bleeding disorder due to the when there is no platelets are present, or the clotting factors are not present. Let's talk about the ABO blood group system. There is the ABO blood group system. There is the in that blood group system, if the antigen and antibody are present, when in red blood cell there is the presence of the and A antigen. The blood group is the A, and they have the antibodies of the B into the plasma. If there is the blood group is B, they have the antigen B into the RBC surface, and the antibody A present into the plasma. And third is the O blood group. There is in O blood group there is no antigen into the surface of the plasma, but there is the presence of the there is the presence of the antibodies into the plasma. And if there is the AB blood group, then they have the antigen into the surface of the RBCs, and the AB antigen is present, and there are the no antibodies present. So O is the universal donor, and AB is the universal acceptor of the blood. According to the there is the RH blood group system. If the RH antigen is present into the RBC surface, then it is the positive blood group. It may be the A positive, or the if there is the absence of the RH factor or the RH antigen into the RBCs, there is the negative blood group, means the A negative. Similarly, into the B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative, and there is the presence of the AB positive and the AB negative. When we transfuse the blood, we should know what is the antibody and antigen reaction. So at the time of the transfusion of the blood, we check the antigen antibody reaction, because one type, or if different incompatible transfusion of the blood is happen, the many diseases can be formed, blood related diseases can be happen. Thank you.